What's up, everybody? I'm Derek Gamer. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back with some more Tales of Aries, and these are 17 tips I wish I knew before I started playing the game or getting deeper into the game. What this video is going to do is going to show you some things I picked up along the way. On my playthrough right now, I have about 68 hours into the game. And I'm going to share some things that one will make you sleep better at night, make some of your journeys a little easier, and some like cool tips that you might have come along you might not miss earlier on. So my family, without further ado, let's dive in. Alright, so before we get into the video, make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, join the Smooth family. But the number one thing you want to look at first is combat. We spend the most time in this game fighting, so you want to make sure you get the combat down. So a couple of things. You don't want to spam your abilities. The game does a good job educating you this pretty early on. You start to experience diminishing return when you use the same abilities too much. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you're alternating between all of your skills and not using the same ones over and over and over. As you can see here, diminishing return in combos. During a combo, if the same art is used multiple times within 4 action, its penetration will decrease and the enemy recovers sooner from it sooner. Continuously doing so will raise these penalties, making the art half effective at its harshest. So what that means is you don't want to continue to use the same attack over and over and over. And I'm gonna go into combat right now, and when you first start the game, you want to go crazy, start spamming all of your abilities. But what you want to do is you want to slow down and start identifying like what some of your attacks look like. So one, using your regular R1 to do your regular attacks is good. These guys died a little too quickly now. But you want to use the regular R1 to use your regular attacks. And the cool thing is you want to put it in between your combo as well. By putting it in R1 in between your skills, it helps to extend it a little bit more. So I use a combo attack. And I keep on attacking. Okay, these guys do strong. Let's go to a different area. See, what you want to do is know which one of your attacks is going to combo well. And also, too, you want to pay attention to what your enemy is doing as well. So one, get into them action. Use your combos, see how much time it takes for your animation to end, because in this game you can't cancel your attack by dodging out of it, which would be cool if you could, but you cannot. The last thing you want to do is get yourself caught in a situation where you're stun locked in your animation. So for me personally, I like using abilities that are kind of like quick and easy to get in and out of. And I'll get this one. It's the only one I like. This one's a little longer, but it's 3 hits. These are some of the skills I use. So one thing is don't spam your abilities. As you can see, I'm alternating between all of my abilities at once to make sure that I keep my damage up. If you notice, the enemy said break. You might be wondering, what does break mean? Break means that we actually broke the monster's guard. When the guard is broken, the monster will stagger and jump up in the air with each hit, as you saw in that video. I'll fight another monster, you can see it again. So when the enemy is broken, that's where you want to use your abilities to continue the combo. So it takes a little damage. Boom, now he's broken. Now, if I take him in the air, they'll follow me. See, the break game is over. That's why it's important to make sure your skills that you're using, they combo well together so you can continue it as well. So what was that? That was our next tip I was going to have. Our next tip is going to be use our evade guard. You want to use your counter because it's a good way for you to close the gap and get some good damage as well. As you can see, it's broken. See, I just keep on doing my moves like that. So whenever an enemy is broken, that's a good opportunity for you to really dive in there and do some good combos. And depending on what skills your peers are using as well, you can continue to combo. I think the highest combo I've gotten so far is 110. Next thing you want to do is spend some time on your arts. Look at your arts you have equipped and try to have a kind of a flow to them. So for me personally, the setup I got right now is I like this one because it's a good attack on the floor. It chains very good into vacuum blades, and I always keep triangle as the skill that takes them up in the air to start building that muscle memory. And this one is cool because it does like a little vacuum that sucks them in. That allows me to combo to this one. Then I do another vacuum, suck them in, and I end it with my flaming edge. So these are some of the combos I have set up with my character, and trust me, you get a lot more options available to you later on in the game. But just play around with it, spend some time in there, because it's really important. It makes your battle a lot more fluid when you get those things ironed out. Another thing that you want to spend your time doing as well is customizing your strategy. So for me personally, I want to make sure that my healer is not spamming through all of my orange gels or all of my life gels. So I went in here and adjusted a couple of things. And what this does is it trains the AI to support the way you want it to. For before, in the past, it would heal too often, so I put it down to 50%. So it heals when I get 50%, and it has at least 1% more CP. That means it will maximize all of our CP towards healing as it should be, and not conserving any. Anyone KO'd, it wants to heal because I have no time to worry about healing. I want my healing to be taken care of by the healer. Therefore, anybody goes down, bring them back to life. Anybody needs heal, bring them back to health. I could tweak it a little bit more if I get rid of the first aid heal and just put like a bigger area heal to make sure whenever it does cast heal, it doesn't run everybody. But I felt like sometimes just a one-on-one healing is more effective than wasting all of the CP to heal the whole party. So this is what you can spend. There's a lot of options in here as well. Go through here. On all the items, there's so many customizations that you can do to make your party as efficient as possible. Matter of fact, people that spend some time in here, comment below what your loadout looks like or what thing you changed that made the biggest impact in your playstyle. So spend a lot of time in here, spend a little bit of time in here adjusting and making sure everything looks good to your standard. Try it out, then refine it as you play. Orange gels. Orange gels are the most sacred item in this game, because there was a big change from the old Tales games where you used to get TP points, technical points. Orange gel, you used to heal like, oh, heals 30% of your technical points. But instead, in this game, it heals 30% of your CP. And overall, CP is shared amongst the whole party, and CP is used for healing. So if you don't have any CP, you cannot heal. So it's very, very scarce in this game. You don't find that many, and they are kind of pricey. So you want to make sure you're saving these for a good occasion. If you're fighting a mob, just hang out by a camp, go to the camp and recharge. Go to the camp, recharge. That's the flow you're gonna be until you get stronger. They can go further out. Also too, you want to save these for bosses whenever things are gonna happen. That when we find the boss, you can make sure you can go through the whole battle without having to start the whole battle over. These things are like gold in this game, so make sure you protect them. All the other items like life bottle, they're kind of inexpensive, so you should be okay on those. But money is hard to come by earlier on, so if you get some, hold on to them. I talked about this earlier, but CP, save it. Save it. It's very important. You use it to heal. It's shared amongst your party. You want to make sure that you're keeping it as much as you can. And there's ways to increase your CP, and the way you increase is by, you're gonna fight some you saw this in the demo if you played the demo. You're gonna fight some monsters, then you're gonna fight some stronger monsters, and you could tell they're stronger because they have like glow on them. You can't flee when you run into them. You see them in the wild just chilling. When you defeat those, you get these little keys that increases your overall amount. So you want to make sure as you're progressing to the game, you come back and you go and fight those monsters. That way you can continuously increase your CP. And remember, the more CP, the more you can heal. The more you can heal, the more you stay alive. The more you stay alive, the more you can defeat the monster. So that's ultimately the goal. I want to take it back to arts for a second, because this is something I realized earlier on. You want to have a loadout for bosses. And I say loadout for bosses because bosses don't break, meaning you're not gonna be tossing them up in the air and doing the thing to them. You're not, because bosses don't break. So a lot of times some of your air skills are useless in battle, which will make you default to using your other skills, which will give you a penalty if you keep using the same skills. So ultimately, when you're fighting a boss, what you want to do is put another ground skill in there so you can alternate between the three. And so you can use that in battle versus like trying to toss them up and down. You're like, oh, wait a minute, I'm slicing up and he's not going. ¿Por qué? That's why. So what I did earlier on is switch out my loadouts and have like a specific one for bosses. Next is don't try to go crazy farming for levels. This game, it does a fantastic job of putting you on your back and saying no, sit down. Because what happens is when you get to it's like an equation. I'm level 10, right? So I fight other level 10. I fight level 13 monsters. I get 200 XP. I get 200 XP. I'm like, oh, this is a good experience. So what happens is when I get to a level 11, that same monster that was giving me 200 XP now starts giving me 75 XP. So you're like, oh, what's happening here? Gotta do a lot more. Then when you get to the same level, that same monster that's giving you 200 XP is now giving you like 10, 20, 15 XP. So essentially it is greatly decreasing your chance of being over leveled. So the best way is, since you're level up earlier on, I'm gonna have a guide out for leveling. Same thing with farming. But just to say this, the best way to level up is go to the next area and spend some time in there. That's what you want to do. So don't try to over farm, because the game will say no. And the reason it does this because it wants to keep the game balanced. Balance is a big good thing in this game. It keeps the game fun, challenging, exciting. So if they didn't do that, you will just spend all your time in the one area, get super leveled, and like steamroll through everything, and that's what they're trying to prevent. So don't try to farm too crazy earlier on. Enjoy the experience, let's go through the game. Trust me, it's a big game. You don't gotta spend like 30 hours in one area, because there's a lot to explore. I'm 68 hours in, I still haven't finished the game yet. So there's a lot to explore. Another quick tip, pick up everything. Pick up everything you see. When you go into areas, pick up food, pick up rocks, because you're gonna need them for everything when it comes to making gear, making armor, making accessories, everything you're gonna be making. You wanna make sure whenever you see one of these things, you pick it up, because you're gonna be useful to you. Next thing you guys will be asking is armor. Armor, what's the best armor? What's the best weapon? How do I find those things? What you wanna do is you're gonna have a guy who's gonna be able to sell you some stuff a little later on. You don't wanna waste your time buying any of this stuff. Don't buy it, because what's gonna happen is RPG 101. What's gonna happen is you're gonna go into a dungeon and you're gonna find that item or a better item in the actual dungeon. So if you ever feel like you're I'm not saying don't ever not buy it. If you have extra money, use it if you want to, but if you have extra money, you should be buying like life potions and orange gels and make sure you stay alive in battle. But if you have extra money, if you want to buy it. But just know that a lot of the items and armor you're gonna want to buy, you're gonna find in the game. So they're gonna be available to you. When it comes to weapons though, no, you cannot find weapons. So what you want to do is you're gonna have to make all of your weapons, and you do that very, very early on. That's why I told you it's very important to pick up everything. You want to pick up everything, because it makes sure that you can equip and you can buy, you can make your weapons. You want to farm, fight your monsters. That way you can have all the materials you need to make all the stuff you need in order to have the latest and greatest gear that you can in that area. Like I'm telling you, in the middle of me making this video, I'm picking everything up because you're gonna need it. When it comes to making money a little earlier on, you get the ability to fish. Fishing is a pretty good way of making some money earlier on, because you can fish, you can use the fish for ingredients. At the same time, you can sell the fish. And fishing is relatively easy in this game, and it's fun. It's a cool little mini game, like fishing is in every single game. But it's a cool way to gain some money a little earlier on. Next thing I want to say is do your side quests. Side quests are very important, because they unlock, they give you SP, they give you money, they give you new ability, and sometimes they unlock features in the game. This game is literally crazy to know when you're gonna unlock a new skill, because you can get a new skill from doing anything. You can get a skill for killing a boss, progressing in the story, farming something, doing a side quest. See, what you want to do is you want to enjoy the game and take it all in. In order to do that, you gotta play the game. So if you see someone with a little melt above their head like this, it means they have a side quest for you. If it's closed, that means you haven't engaged with that person yet to start the side quest. If it's open, that means they're waiting for you to go fulfill the side quest. And after you fulfill it, you can talk to them, they give you whatever the goods are, and you can proceed on. Like I was saying, some quests give you items, some quests give you skills. It's kind of random. I'm sure there's gonna be a guy that's someone that does, exactly what each one does. But for now, spend the time and go through because you unlock a lot of cool abilities for all of your characters. One next thing, I told you always pick up all the ingredients because what you want to make sure you're always doing is cooking. You always want to be in the kitchen chefing it up. And the cool thing about cooking is it gives you a lot of abilities when you do cook. You can get attack up, drop better items, drop items in general, defense up. There's all kind of things in here, and I haven't even got all the recipes. But you want to make sure you're cooked, and you can tell when you're cooked something. You can choose someone to cook it. Look at that. I just cooked and I unlocked a skill. Literally, like I was telling you, when you do random things in this game, you get abilities. So that could be one for you guys right there to unlock this one. I've been looking for this skill my whole playthrough as well. Recover for him, so I can recover in the air. Wow. Crazy. Anyways, back to the video. Cooking. You can see that I'm full because right above my head, you see the little fork and knife. That's an indicator that this dude wants to smoke. But that's the indicator that we've cooked. Ingredients don't last forever. A food, the meal doesn't last forever. So as time goes on, it'll start with everything being lit up, and as time goes on, it'll start to dampen out as far as the little symbols. That tells you it's time to cook. So you get all the benefits of cooking up until you've cooked that meal. Next one I want to talk about, I'm not sure I'm gonna show you guys one, but accessories. Later on in the game, you get the ability to make some accessories and craft them. Start them early. Start them early. And one thing I want to show you guys real quick, something like this. Say I craft an accessory, right? You don't get the benefits of the skills until you enhance it. So that allows it for it to be illuminated. That allows it to be eliminated, and you get the perks of the skill. So after you make your first accessory, put some points into it, enhancing. You might be wondering, why would I enhance? Nothing happened to it. It didn't get any stronger. Yes, but now it's active, and later on in the game will allow you to do some other things as well, which I have a video for that coming up soon. So spend some time. I told you again, pick up everything. Why? Because it's kind of random to some of the abilities you get to put on your accessories later on. So make sure you're just picking up everything from the beginning of the game, so you have a lot of stuff to choose from when it comes time for you to do these things. Next, explore, explore, explore. When you explore in the game, you find all kind of cool items that are not, you can literally miss. This is a game where you can miss something. As you guys saw, I was looking for that skill for my whole playthrough, and I just unlocked it literally towards end game. So you want to explore. When you explore, you get specific items. Sometimes you get a sage, you get a verbena, you get a rosemary, and what those things do is it increases your stats permanently. So as you see right now, I have a red sage, which says an herb that greatly raises max HP when used. So if I use this, pick my character, I put on Alphen, boom, I permanently have that benefit. Permanently. So there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them throughout the game. So you want to make sure you're picking those up and use them on your character. Last but not least, have a good time. The game is fun. It's action-packed. It's fun. It looks beautiful. It feels good. The story is good. Take your time and explore. In between me, I literally spent like, my strategy is I'll go to a new point in the game, then I'll spend like 2 hours just exploring the whole area, fighting all the monsters, getting comfortable, using my skills. Then I would be good, then I'll continue on. Bonus, bonus, bonus. Use your skills. The way you learn skills in this game is multiple ways. In Tales game, you learn new skills by using your previous skills. And also too, they get stronger the more you use it. So if you keep using the skill, keep using it, you go proficiency. If you go back to, as you can see, it show all the stars next to it. That tells you how many times I use it. Every time it gets a star, it gets stronger. So your skills are continuously gonna get stronger as you use them. I'm not sure what the multiplier is for damage, but just know it's gonna grow up over time. This was our, I think I added so many bonus tips. I think it might be even like 20 tips now to get you started, but who knows. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I didn't put everything in here. I got some more videos coming out, but majority of things, these are good jumping off points to get you to that next idea or topic. If I miss any tips, comment them below. Let this video be the ultimate guide for anybody new coming to Tales and wants to learn a little bit more that they haven't played these games in the past. I know a lot of people are going to be playing and loving the game. But comment below your skills. Thanks for watching. Stay smooth. If you're new, make sure you guys subscribe, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, share it with somebody so they can find value in it as well. Till next time, my family, Dear Camera, signing out.